It's a hard job that you do true. All the day ones always right.
I'm going to go from left to right in your screen. So it's James, Luke, Ari.
Oh, for the names. Perfect.
James, Luke, Ari.
All right. So hi, I'm DJ Fish.
I'm DJ Lavender.
We are co-hosts of 88-Bit Trip, which is the video game and chiptune sound or radio show here at Album 88.
Yeah.
We know that you guys have given us a drop for our album show already.
Yeah,
so
a while ago, but
you guys are already friends of the radio station in some sort of form or anything like that.
Yes.
Really appreciate you guys coming to talk to us in the midst of your tour.
Yeah. How have your first few stops been?
Fantastic. I think last night was officially halfway through when we were playing in St. Louis. Sorry.
A lot of dates. Yeah.
It's a dramatic pause.
Yeah.
He's the one that knows every place we've ever played, like down to 20 years ago. So it's weird to see them hesitate like that.
It is funny to be forgetful of where we are. Like I'll speak for myself. Date, day, and time have kind of disintegrated for me a little bit. Like I know that I'm supposed to be here right now. And that's about it. Like,
everything around it.
Are you guys beginning to enjoy the cities at all?
Yeah, that's been huge actually. Like we're on a bus for the first time, so we have free time in the mornings. Like we wake up in the city we're playing in, and we get to. There's a cheese festival happening up the block. We got to go see the cheese festival.
Beautiful. I love
I don't
Heck
tickets.
yeah.
I don't know. Hey.
Wow. All right. So
Uh-oh.
we're gonna transition to some questions for you guys. Throughout this tour, has your set list evolved? I know that you guys have talked about trying to integrate your new sound with old sounds and how it can be kind of hard to transition from the rock and Midwest emo vibes to just straight chiptune.
Yeah, Vocaloid style.
Have you changed any set list ideas or any organizational purposes to make a better flow within the show?
I mean, I feel like we haven't played a consecutive same set list yet so far. I think we keep kind of tweaking it and trying different things. Both for like us understanding the flow, but also just depending on like what the vibe of the show is, like who else we're playing with and like what the city's like. I feel like it hasn't been that crazy. At first we were kind of like, oh yeah, it'd be wild to go from like vocals to no vocals and stuff. I feel like it was trying when we first did stuff like Miku and like Prom Night, where it was like, oh, now we have to have like vocals at all on stage. And I feel like once we got over that hump, it's a little bit less scary to go from like to actual vocals now. And it's like there's still all the chip stuff is like all definitely like in the live setting, we're kind of rocking it all. Anything on this new record to the old stuff, it's all kind of there present. So it's definitely, I think it's more just about the energy of like kind of like, oh, do you want to like build into a set or like start full energy or whatever? And yeah, we're still tweaking it. So every show will probably be something a little bit different.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, we actually have not played the same, sorry, yeah, we haven't played the same set list twice on tour. Even if it's just like a little tweak, like it's been different every single night. And sometimes there's fun surprises, but like it's been fun to figure out what makes the most sense.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. We're gonna be at the Atlanta show, so
Very exciting.
hopefully we get a fun set list, but I mean any set list will be a fun one regardless, obviously. Do you want to ask the next question?
Yeah. We were thinking about kind of what if there were any like surprising reactions from fans as you were performing, any songs that like stuck out for shows that you expected or didn't expect to have like a good or big audience reaction while you're playing.
I think Magnet's been getting a much bigger response than necessarily anticipated, but I think like it's not necessarily surprising, but I guess surprising for us having not had vocals for a long time. Like people are singing along to songs now, which we've had the occasional like making up words to a melody of like Endless Fantasy or something like that in the past, but now like they're actually singing the words and like you can hear it in the room while we're playing. It's a pretty cool thing to experience.
It's awesome. Feels like it's been more as the tour has gone on too.
I think so, yeah. I mean, I sort of forget because we've been listening to the record, like half the record finished for, I don't know, close to since January, right? So it's hard for me to put myself in the fan's shoes who's only had it for like a month and a half at this point, if that makes sense. That's like still pretty, pretty basic, I guess, as far as album releases go.
In Chicago like 2 nights ago or something, I feel like there was like a pretty consistent throughout the whole hour and a half set, constant mosh pit in the middle that was specifically sick for like some of like the slower songs we're playing too, like the Rage and stuff. We're kind of like playing some just kind of like pretty little ARP stuff on the guitar, singing kind of soft, but there's still like the pit
And they're still
happening.
going off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was dreamy.
I think you for sure are gonna sing like every word to Darcy.
I like
Sure,
Darcy
like-
and Buck Wild are my two that I've been looping a lot. So
Let's be screaming Light A.
yeah.
More people singing, the better.
Mhm.
I was browsing your Reddit, and there is a very large consensus of Anamanaguchi live is insane and not the same as recorded. Is there any differences you make, or is it just the fact that live music is generally better, or do you add your own specific twist, do you think?
I think so with Anyway in particular, I think there's a couple things happening. One is that with the new record, we wrote it and recorded it with the intention of it feeling as though we want the listener to be feeling like they're in the room with us, like as personal as it can be in that sense. And the translation of that to live is, okay, well, now you're literally in the room with us. So it feels like maybe a more immediate iteration of what we wanted to do with it. Like it's the most direct translation of how we want it to be received. That like we played it all live together to tape, and now we get to play it all live for you. So that feels like a more literal thing. But then on the other side of it, I think that when we are translating like other older stuff now, there is a difference there where it's like, well, that gets the band forward treatment also. That like while stuff from USA or even like older than that, Endless Fantasy is very much like you get a lot of computer and the band is in there also, but it's like the stuff that people have tended to like pick up on or latch onto the most has been programmed. So now the idea of that being as personal and as like this is still us playing the songs as the new record, like there's something different and more direct about it across the board, I think, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think like production wise too, like both on the audio production and lighting production, like we're all playing through like tube amplifiers now. We're like bringing like more I don't know, more of that live style music equipment that just like a lot of what we actually use to record on the album too, so it's like pretty true to that sound. And then a lot of like custom lighting design as well to go along with it that you don't get when you're just listening to it in your living room.
Yeah, I think I saw you in another interview said that you particularly were working with the lighting design on the tour, right?
Yeah.
Are
So
you happy with how it
like,
turned out?
yeah, big time. I mean, there was a time where like we've done visuals for so long, and like the other like a lot of the older music, especially like in Dawn Metropolis and Endless Fantasy days, like a lot of that's just like 0 to 100 in 0 seconds. So there's like no subtleties really, and like in that we had the light bulbs that got always glowing, flashing and stuff. So this time around we knew we wanted to keep it like more like rock centric, but still have our our vibe. So worked with our good friend Stephen Cohen, who's like a more traditional lighting designer, and alongside with him, I designed some like custom LED fixture stuff to go along with like the more traditional like movers and strobes and stuff. So it was a really fun collaboration there.
It's really, really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you guys have been active for a very, very long time, since 2004. I feel like, well, as I've grown up, I've seen chiptune kind of re-explode in a way
Yeah.
within the later half of the 2010s.
Mhm.
Has that changed the outcome of your fan base and who you're seeing at tours now? Is it typically a wide variety of audiences, or is it getting younger and younger as chiptune is starting to kind of resurge?
Mhm.
It's kind of hard to pinpoint. Like we've been, and we talked about this amongst ourselves, that we get a lot of people at our shows from different, they find us through different avenues, whether that's like people who find us through like older punk scene, or people who find us through chiptune or VGM, or people who are just more general internet or Vocaloid fans. Like there's a lot of like there's a few different like points of entry, and some of them definitely skew younger because of things like younger people like Hatsune Miku or Fortnite or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Chip specifically is hard to tell. Like I'm I'll speak for myself that like it's harder to stay tapped into the minutia of it, because like Chip is, as I'm sure both of you are like well aware, like a very grassroots thing that like
Yeah.
if I've moved away from it, that has been entirely my fault. And I've like seen a lot of younger and like interesting up and comer artists, like people who are playing on Magfest stages or things like that. And it's very, as a kind of aside, it's fun to be like, oh, you grew up listening to Chipso, and I can tell. Like, that's
This
very
is so true.
yeah. We're at a point where it's like, oh, you're paying attention to, or like this specific like wave of chip artists.
I think on the opposite of the grassroots chip too, also, I feel like what you see happen is like kind of like the chip music sound, like the general kind of like just like raw 8-bitty sound, like finds its way into like pop culture stuff on like a cyclical level. I feel like every kind
Sure.
of like 5 or 10 years, it's like that kind of sound will start to like influence, which I feel like we spoke a lot about, like that whole like rage beats era, like which like a general like hip hop stuff now, it's just kind of like it's all just like square waves, like reverse, like all the harmonies, like are all just like very like chiptune core, like all of that kind of sound, like all that Playboy Cardi sound, like sounds like this is basically chip, but like
Yeah.
Yeah.
so then you have a lot of kids that are listening to Playboy Cardi that'll be like, all right, I'm gonna reverse engineer this, like what's gone into this, and then they, will find their way back down to like, oh, this is where it all started. Like here's where like the beginning of this sound kind of came from.
Which then also informs hyper pop, which is also
Yeah.
paying attention to
Yeah,
that. So
for
there's
sure.
this funny layer of like dilution happening between
Yeah.
all of it.
So yeah, I think people keep working their way back to that kind of like source point every once in a while, and then you get those spikes of kind of like, oh, this is where it all came from. Sick. Like I'm gonna go check out Anamanaguchi show now.
Yeah.
You know?
So maybe it's more that like a lot of people just continue to find that sound in that world through different entry points, and we just happen to be a very accessible like artist for that.
Yeah.
I love that idea of like the cyclical, going back to the roots of it all, because I feel like I hear chiptune sounds in every
Everywhere,
genre.
and people don't know it's chiptune.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, the electronic beats. Wow. It's like
There's more than
something ain't that for you.
Exactly.
I did have a sort of a slightly off topic, but I saw James in the back there. I saw you had a WREK t-shirt from our radio station.
I know I
Georgia
did that,
Tech.
but I did not wear it intentionally for today.
I didn't notice that.
We can edit that. I don't know if this is a competition.
It's
The
like
shirt is
friendly
funny.
competition.
Yeah, banter.
Like competition.
Yeah, we're all friends.
Yeah,
Losers.
Yeah, we.
No,
Well, we're.
No. If we can after the Atlanta show, we'll give you a really
I'll give you a better. Yes, yeah. But
Okay.
yeah,
That's so funny.
another college radio station here.
A very old shirt. I don't know, Luke, what year did we do the interview on? It was a show at Georgia Tech, I think.
Mm.
I thought we did like a in studio thing.
It's ripped.
It's very old.
He's gotta get
It's that
Oh,
one. It's armpit.
Well, you can get a new and improved
Yes.
on me.
All right. Well, yeah. We'll see.
Sorry. Those are petty.
While you're talking, I noticed it and I had to do a bit of a tangent there.
Wait, is it a problem?
Hmm?
Are you guys not cool?
No.
We're cool. Yeah, no, we
We'll
obviously
see
we
them next
appreciate.
Saturday.
Yeah, we're seeing them soon.
We're
We
doing
appreciate
kickball
you guys
together.
supporting college radio. Were you guys, any of you guys involved in some sort of college radio? You guys
We're
at
tuned
like
into college radio.
WNYU perhaps?
I somehow know.
Yeah, just fans.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
influenced by it heavily, but never actually working in it or anything.
Yeah. Well, Lon used to work at the Tulane radio station. I forgot about that.
Oh, awesome. Our old manager and dear friend.
Yeah, kind of forgot about that. Trying to think of anyone I did.
I would work at
station.
Yeah.
WNYU.
Yeah, I'm saying. My father was one of the first late night KXLU DJs in Los Angeles. But yeah, he dropped out of school and lost his radio job. So
It happens to the best of
Unfortunately.
us. Well, we do have an 88-bit trip show literally tomorrow night, and we're definitely gonna play a lot of Anamanaguchi. Is there any specific request from the band that we should play on our show?
Mhm.
from us or from someone else?
Hey, anything. It just has to be chiptune or video game.
The song Brain Debris by Zabu Tom. I can put that in the chat here.
Oh yes. I'll go ahead and copy it.
Perfect.
That's one of
Oh,
my
I definitely
favorite
spelled
Game Boy
it-
tracks of all time.
I spelled it really incorrectly.
Agree
Okay.
with 3 E's in there.
Sorry.
That's interesting.
Sorry.
Any other requests again from the band or from any other
I'll
artist?
I'll do the request of ours, which is the indulgent one. I'll say that this one has been probably like in the top 3 most fun to play live, I feel like, which is the cover we did of Miss the Rage, the Mario Judah track.
We've definitely played that on the show.
When that song came out, I was looping it all day. I don't know. It cemented in my brain. I'm glad to
I
hear.
do have a personal question about that song though. When DJ Lavender played on the show for the first time, I guess I've only ever heard the version where the guy is screaming. So I noticed that in your cover, it's particularly calm, actually. The way that the vocal performance is done, it's very I miss the rage, which is still awesome. But is there a specific reason for that, or it's just what you felt like doing?
If at the show, you'll definitely see it too. Like it's we have it just like build basically. Like we felt like the drama of that track was just like really it's like a loop that feels so good to just like sit in that loop for so long. And when we do it like live, it's like we started like just whispering, like barely kind of singing Mr. Rage, and then by the end of it, we're definitely just fully screaming. Like we were just like fully in it. So it's like
I see.
yeah, I think it's like channeling that Mario Judah like energy, like catching it by like the end of it. Like we're trying to like build into that sort of, which is that kind of feeling of like a sort of like passive silent rage that like you're in like that level of like a frustration that like you're not really expressing, but is definitely simmering in the background. And then yeah, it's slowly kind of leaking and building into like the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Really the
What-
Dynamic metaphor.
What happens to a dream deferred? That's it.
That's a really good way to put it. Really like that.
Okay. Any other from James? Any requests or suggestions?
I don't think it's public anywhere, but is Swag anywhere online, Luke?
Did we put it in that mix, the NTS?
There's a lost interlude from USA that has never seen the light of day.
We can send you.
We can send you the link.
Yeah, what's
it's called Swag, and now that Bieber's got an album called Swag, it's time to let Swag have that.
That's so
Yeah, what's a good email to send something to? Can you put it in chat?
Yeah,
yes,
for
that
sure.
would be awesome.
Yeah, y'all get an exclusive. Why not?
See, Rec could never do that. They would.
They can.
I have a bit of an interesting question. I'm not sure if it'll come out the right way. And a lot of the press and interviews that you've done before or after this album came out and leading up to the album, and including some of the reviews I've seen, a lot of it seems to equate the new sound to other like really legendary groups. I mean, obviously you guys filmed it or you jammed out in the American Football House,
The cover for
the legendary American Football House. You're getting compared to like a lot of like Weezer-esque songs. You released the Mr. Rage cover and then a Nirvana cover and things like that. Obviously, these artists have really inspired your new tracks, but do you want to ever create a sound in upcoming projects where you try to create your own sound where it's not being in a way like, is it a disservice to constantly be compared, or is it more of an honor?
You know, I think
I think it's more of an honor, honestly. I think like we're not trying to hide any of those influences on this clearly, but I like to think, and I think some reviewers also agree that like, we're not, obviously it's not just like a one-to-one comparison between the two. Like
This is true.
still
You definitely have
our-
chiptune in it
still have
too.
our-
So
yeah, and I would go on record as saying that I think the biggest difference is just how between the like more band forward approach and the actual addition of vocals, like that is the thing that makes it more clear to like where we're wearing our influences on our sleeve. Where like I would say that that's kind of always been the case. It's just been obscured by different choices we make. Like if you listen to a lot of like older material of ours, it might be pretty easy to like draw a straight line between like other bands we're listening to. Like Meow is not far off from an Andrew WK song if you just like do a few things a little bit different. And like maybe the fact that like if we had done a few things differently with something like Darcy, then people might not say like, oh, this is a Weezer song. They would, like it's always been sort of hard to hide certain influences. But I think the fact that we are a band comprised of 4 people who are all channeling different things has contributed to like, a more well-rounded experience around that. But then also, yeah, the fact that like if we're pulling from anything more like concretely rock or like indie or punk oriented, then like we're just that much closer to that sound now. So maybe it's just a little bit easier to be like, this is what's happening. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Like I love that people are able to like draw a more clear connection to other things. It's different, but yeah, I don't know what the plan is moving forward. I think we're just doing whatever is exciting for us at the time.
really awesome. That's really, really cool.
I think we
are definitely over time.
Yeah. And we appreciate again.
Take too much of your time left. Closing
Our
thoughts.
pleasure. Yeah.
Closing thoughts that I have. I really appreciate you guys talking to us. I saw in a lot of your other interviews, you talked about how you really took a jam session approach to creating this album as opposed to just like emailing files to each other. And we try to jam a lot, but we suck in the way
We're
that
trying.
you're an okay bassist. And I'm a terrible guitarist.
No, but
we're
it's
trying to get there, but we will definitely take inspiration from you guys when
yes.
we see you guys live on October 16th or 14th or one of those days.
Let me get the right
Atlanta
There we
show.
go.
That's great.
If you
I mean,
free
keep
day us,
just
you can
just jam because it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
it is
Right, like I don't think I'm like an amazing musician. I think that I have a lot of fun making music with these two, and Pete, who's not in the room. But like, yeah, it's more about just like, are we making something that we're all feeling good about? Yeah, okay, we did it.
There we go.
it's really beautiful in a way.
Yeah.
If you guys have any time when you're in Atlanta, you can always come by. We are literally a walk from your venue,
Right.
very
right.
close. You can pick up some free stuff, get some free swag. Up to you, of course. But we look really forward to seeing you guys. And thank you so much
16th.
for taking our email. And we will play this song, Swag.
What time is your show tomorrow?
9 to 11. Oh,
Yeah. Well, sorry. 88-bit Troop is 9 p.m. to 11 p.m.
yeah. We have a nerd hour where we talk about
Video games, anime, and stuff.
That's just us yapping.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, we talk about last time we talked about diversity in video games and the issues with that. And we did talk about the Scott Pilgrim game that's coming out that you guys have worked on. I don't know if you guys have already finished that, probably since it's coming out next year.
Still working on it, but
Oh, okay. Do you feel like your sound is creeping into that soundtrack at all, like your newer sound?
yeah, definitely in some spots. I mean, not like across the board, but like there's definitely I think we spend a lot of time like dialing certain like sounds and like energy that we have like very locked in at this point that like it's like we can just plug and play them basically. Like if we want like certain the type that's required a lot of research basically to like, get it nailed down. Like we have it figured out. That's also just gear wise. Like we have a lot of gear that's like the exact sounds that we want. So now we're definitely trying to use it as much as we can. Not out of efficiency, just because it's like really fun to use and play with. So I think it's like we're still, even though we're done with the record, we're still kind of like we could cook more here. There's more stuff that I play with.
Yeah.
So it's definitely the tail end of all of that world is definitely making it into the game for sure. Along with like just the previous game as well. And I think that like tie like those full worlds together and stuff in a fun way. But
Yeah.
we're not done yet, so we got a little bit more to do.
You have more time to work on that, which is really awesome. But yeah, we talked about it on the show, and I talk about how I'm a Scott Pilgrim apologist or whatever. But yeah, so
Yeah,
tomorrow show
9 p.m. to 11.
at 9 to 11 p.m. EST, Album 88, 88.5 Atlanta. But yeah, we will
We have
play
an update tomorrow.
Anamanaguchi
Yeah.
and the songs you
It's a
recommend.
rare day that we're not missing at night. So
That would be really awesome. And once again, we will, of course, extend the invite to you guys day of tour. If you want to check us out at our radio station, if you have time, get some free stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for taking your time, and have a great tour stop, whatever your next tour stop is, or wherever it is. I guess you don't really know at this time.
Minneapolis.
Yeah. Today
We're in Wisconsin today.
and then Minneapolis 2 days from now. But yeah,
You
we'll
guys
be
gonna
in
rock
touch.
it for sure. All right.
Thanks a ton, fam.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Have a good day.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Bye.